Now, we've all seen them. Thrillers that mistake loud for suspense or predictable for satisfying. And I confess, when I watched the trailer for Drop, it had me worried that it was about to join this dubious club. Another 2 hours of predictable plot points that just suck the soul out of your body. It is so boring and bland. Thankfully, Drop has a far more devious game in mind. But before we get into my review, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future movie and TV content, and make sure to drop your thoughts on this movie down in the comments. Now, onto the review. I was worried that this movie was going to be like some of those colossal flops like The Phone Booth, or most recently, that piece of garbage Locke starring Bill Skarsgård. But I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. This movie isn't your typical thriller, but it's more of a thinking thriller. It's not super violent, but it does have its moments of violence. The basic premise of this film is that Violett and Henry are out on a first date at a fancy restaurant, and someone mysteriously keeps digi-dropping Violett. That's the same as an airdrop, and they even name airdrop in the movie, but they just don't call it for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't want, airdrop doesn't want this associated with them. Now, this person who's digi-dropping Violett wants her to kill her date, or they're going to kill her son who is at home with the babysitter. Violett can see all of this on her phone, so she knows the stakes are high. But will she go through with it? Well, for that, you're going to have to watch the movie yourself and find out. The premise of the movie sounded a bit sus to me, but I will say it was surprisingly entertaining. There were several twists and turns along the way that you just didn't see coming, and they kept you engaged from beginning to end. They made you believe that anyone could have been the one sending these messages, including Henry himself, her date. The plot gets a little bloated at times, and it weaves in a past trauma from Violett's life that really doesn't mean a whole lot to the plot of the movie overall. They try to connect it, but it just doesn't really resonate. They also struggle to explain the motives behind why they're doing what they're doing and why they chose Violett to carry this out. The acting is good throughout. Each actor made you believe that they could have been the one threatening Violett. They all gave these small little breadcrumbs on why they may be the one. Some are plainly noticed, while others are a bit more subtle. But they did a great job in acting those out. One of the biggest things that turned me off in this movie was some of the stylistic choices it made. I know you're not going to want to see every message that this person sends on Violett's phone screen, and they just displayed some of them on the movie screen, which is fine, but I think they overdid it, in my opinion, at times. For it being a suspense film, and how much they made these stylistic choices, it did make the movie feel a bit cringe. Now, was this the biggest deal? No. But did it take away from what was a solid movie that was going on? A little bit, yeah. And that's just one of the examples. Overall, it was an entertaining movie. It wasn't great, but it surely wasn't bad. I would give this movie a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'm not sure I'd ever watch it again, but it wasn't a waste of my time or money. So if you're bored and have nothing to do, go give it a watch. It'll at least keep you entertained for a few hours. If you enjoyed today's review, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite movie thriller is. Since you're here, why don't you check out this movie review right here? I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.